The wind howled through the Carpathian mountains, carrying whispers of betrayal. Beneath the shadow of the great fortress of Poenari, a lone rider approached. His cloak was tattered, his face pale, his eyes filled with the terror of a man who had seen the abyss. He bore a message, one written in blood. Vlad Tepes, the voivode of Wallachia, sat at his wooden table, the firelight flickering across his chiseled features. His dark eyes scanned the parchment before him, words scratched hastily, warning of treachery in his court. The messenger stood before him, his voice trembling. "My lord, they conspire against you, the boyars. They have made their pact with the Turks. They mean to strike, tomorrow, at the feast." Vlad did not flinch. He had lived among traitors all his life. He could smell deception as easily as the blood spilled upon his battlefields. He rose from his chair, his shadow stretching long against the stone walls. His voice was calm, too calm. "If what you say is true, they will pay in blood." The messenger's lips curled into a faint smile, a smile that revealed something unnatural. Too sharp, too knowing. Then, as quickly as he had appeared, the stranger faded into the darkness. The grand hall was alive with laughter and the clinking of goblets. Candles burned bright, their golden glow masking the danger that lurked beneath the revelry. Vlad sat at the head of the feast, his gaze piercing through the sea of noblemen. They drank, they laughed, they celebrated, unaware that they were dining at their own funeral. A boyar, bold and foolish, stood with his cup raised. "To our great voivode, may his rule last forever." Vlad did not smile, he did not drink, he only watched. And then he spoke, his voice like the cold steel of a blade. "My friends, tonight I have received a most generous gift, the gift of truth." The room fell silent. Uneasy glances were exchanged. The flames flickered as if the castle itself held its breath. Then, the doors slammed shut. The laughter died, the music ceased. The guards entered. Vlad stepped forward, his footsteps echoing like the toll of a funeral bell. He scanned the faces of his guests, his prey, and then he pointed, "Take them." Screams filled the hall, nobles were seized, their wine-stained robes dragged through the stone floors. Outside, in the cold night air, the execution began. One by one, the traitors met their fate, impaled upon tall, sharpened stakes. Their dying wails carried through the mountains, a chorus of agony beneath the stars. And yet, the night was not over, for something darker had awakened. The great hall stood empty now, save for the flickering torches and the scent of blood still fresh in the air. Vlad remained alone, or so he thought. A shadow moved. A presence lingered in the room, unseen yet undeniable. From the darkness, the messenger emerged once more, no longer a man, but something else, something eternal. His voice was no longer trembling, it was deep, it was ancient. "You are ruthless, voivode, a true ruler, and now you must embrace your destiny." Vlad did not reach for his sword, he did not fear death. But this was no mortal threat. The figure before him began to shift, its form twisting, warping, darkening. Its mouth curled into a sinister grin, revealing fangs sharp as daggers. "You have spilled the blood of the wicked. Now taste it, and become more than a man." A chill filled the chamber. Vlad stepped closer, his breath slow, measured. And then, without hesitation, he struck. His blade drove deep into the demon's chest. A piercing screech erupted, the flames of the torches flickering violently. The walls trembled, shadows swirled. The world itself seemed to darken. Vlad staggered back, his vision blurring, his body burning from the inside. A curse had been set, a legend had been born. Morning came, but Vlad was gone. The castle was silent, the bodies of the traitors had vanished. The great hall bore no trace of the carnage from the night before, save for streaks of darkened blood upon the walls, blood that would never dry. And then, a whisper. From the depths of the castle, a figure emerged. Not a man, not anymore. His eyes burned red, his skin pale as the dead. His lips curled into a knowing smile, revealing fangs glistening in the dim light. Vlad Tepes was no more. Only Dracula remained. And so the legend was born. They say he still roams these lands, watching from the shadows, waiting for